The mistake that most founders make is that they're treating the symptoms of this one constraint and they're putting all of their attention on that instead of fixing the one thing that would actually change everything. What a lot of us do as founders is we put a ton of energy fixing the wrong thing. And if you do that, you will lose. If your business feels stuck right now, I totally get it. It probably looks something like, I'm sitting down for some focus work and you actually have no idea what to focus on. Or you're super busy, things are like hitting off all over the place, but you feel totally out of control. It's not that good kind of busy. Or you keep fixing things and then another week goes by and you're like, wait a minute, nothing's actually fixed. I'm Summer Mulder and I've built multiple seven-figure companies, and right now I am documenting my path to $100 million in our portfolio and what that takes. Most founders aren't stuck because they're lazy or bad at business. They just don't know what actually deserves their energy and time. And that's actually really terrifying as a founder because you feel like you're doing it wrong. You thought it was a lead problem, but maybe it's sales. People aren't paying fast enough, so you blame it on Sherry from accounting. Then you see a competitor launch a new website and you are certain that your branding is all off. Then someone wants to quit, so now you have a culture problem and you think the next best thing is to have a catered lunch every week to make everyone happy. Then you sit through another meeting, come to realize that no one got anything done from last week's meeting. So you're pretty sure that your people suck and you better hire somebody new immediately. And then when you do hire somebody, you fail them within 30 days because they didn't catch on fast enough. So now you have a lead, sales, marketing, accounting, branding, personnel, culture, all of these problems all at once. And you start saying things like, you just can't find good enough people these days. So what do? You start throwing ideas at everything and you hope that something sticks. And then comes that horrible, dark, terrifying moment when you say, maybe I'm the problem. Here's the part that founders don't like to say out loud. I didn't know what the actual problem was, so I started fixing everything at once. And when you fix everything at once, the main thing that actually needed to be fixed gets ignored and everything else stays broken. Think of it like a family. You've got 3 kids, but one of them needs your attention more than the others. It becomes a right now thing. And you don't ignore all the others, but you stabilize the one that's in crisis, because once you stabilize that, it brings a sense of calm so that you can now put your attention to what else in the family needs your energy. Businesses work the same way. You don't fix everything all at once. You fix the thing that is breaking the system and you put all of your attention on just that. Here's the truth. Every business, no matter what phase it's at, has one primary bottleneck. It's the one thing that is holding them back from achieving the big goal that they have. It's really holding them back from making the business work at all. This is the one constraint that, if fixed, will actually alleviate everything else in the business. But the mistake that most founders make is that they're treating the symptoms of this one constraint and they're putting all of their attention on that instead of fixing the one thing that would actually change everything. What a lot of us do as founders is we put a ton of energy fixing the wrong thing. And if you do that, you will lose. So right now you're probably thinking, okay, cool, Summer, so I get the point. You're basically saying that I've been putting my attention on all the wrong things and that's why nothing is improving. That's why I have the same frustrations week after week. So how is it that I actually know what that main constraint is? Great question. This is what I call the 3-minute bottleneck test. Step 1, pick your pipeline. If you sell something, your business most definitely has a pipeline. You have leads coming in, those leads turn into appointments, those appointments turn into sales, those sales then turn into whether a customer is going to be happy or not based on how you fulfilled their service or their order. The next step, find where your biggest drop is. Where do things fall apart in your business? Is it leads turning into appointments? Maybe you have a follow-up or speed to lead issue. Is it appointments turning into sales? Maybe you have an issue with your sales team closing those deals. Is it sales turning into unhappy customers? Look at your fulfillment. Look at the product, the service. Is something going on that they are unhappy? Look at your numbers. Are you actually profiting from the work that you're doing? Maybe it's a margin problem. once you reviewed your entire pipeline, it should start to be pretty obvious what's not working well. And then here is the key question to ask. If I fixed this one thing in the next 14 days, would it alleviate pressure in all these other areas of the business? If the answer is yes, that's your bottleneck. Here's another way to think of this. Your bottleneck is the one thing that makes everything else in your business less effective until it is fixed. Where founders go wrong is that they divide their attention into 10 different areas and nothing actually gets the attention that it deserves. So the wrong hire gets a tiny bit of attention. The new hire gets a little bit of sprinkle here. The problem is that you're not going all in on any of them. So all of them kind of stay at this stable, I need attention mode. And it's almost like you've got this slow burning fire all across the company. Whereas if you could put out that one major fire, everything else will calm down. But how do you do that? You're a founder, you're busy. Your attention is called to a lot of different things, right? You're networking, you need to pay attention to sales, you need to pay attention to revenue. I get all of that. But here's the thing. There's a rule that I made, nobody else made this rule, but I know it because it works. If you can at least put 60 to 70% of all of your time onto that one major constraint, you will see that it will get fixed. And once it's fixed, everything else simmers down. And then what happens is you start to see, okay, here's the next thing in the right order that needs my attention. If you're listening to this and you still feel like you don't know what your bottleneck is and you think it still could be 3 different things, next week I'm going to do a deep dive in exactly how I do it with our companies so that you can get a crystal clear understanding of where your time needs to go. If this hits, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's video. And if you want to know what bottlenecks I'm solving in real time, growing from 7 figures to 9 figures, you'll want to watch this video.